They're sort of coming back here to do this quasi-royal tour. Previously, they've said that they would never bring their children to this country unless, basically, the taxpayer will stump up for their security. They seem to be rolling back on that. I don't see why we should, when he's insulted our country, he's called us racist, he's abandoned his constitutional job. But look, I think there's still, in this country, a lot of residual affection for Prince Harry. We remember him as the soldier who went to Afghanistan, the cheeky younger brother. And I think if there could be some sort of... I mean, who doesn't want to see a family come back together that's had a rift? I think that's the kind of the essential kind of beauty of having the monarchy, is that they are both this kind of ceremonial, constitutional figurehead of the state, but also they are just an ordinary family. And which family hasn't had rifts and arguments and fights?
I have to say my family hasn't had a rift that big.
Not quite as bad.
No one's moved to California. But Scarlett, there is this conversation.
It happens all the time.
All the time, very common. But people are talking more again about the security situation for Harry, because when he comes back, because it's not an official visit, he won't be assigned guards. I mean, this is just the constant rowing that we're hearing between these sides.
Look, so how many guards does he have in the States, right? I mean, you know, and if he has guards in the States that he pays for, why can't he pay for them here? I'm absolutely with Alice about family reunions. I mean, it's absolutely clear that Prince Charles is heartbroken about what's going on, and that Harry, being the child...
King Charles.
Sorry, I'm really sorry about that. I still live in the days of Queen Elizabeth. No, I'm really... anyway, that King Charles is heartbroken about what's happened, and that Harry, you know, it's the children who go, they have the tantrum, they go off, and he wants him back. And I think that's great, and I think it's great that they're coming back. But I think Harry often makes things difficult for himself. The other problem, of course, is William, who is much more angry.
Oh my goodness, the haters are going to lose their minds, because for years they've been saying that Prince Harry and Meghan were not part of the royal family. And we tried explaining that, yes, they were. Just because they weren't working royals did not mean they were not royals, did not mean they were not part of this family. Yeah. And also... yeah, and I believe it, because Prince Harry said in his book that the royal family works together with these magazines to get stories out, and we've been hearing about it for going on a week now. So I actually think this is true. And also, I've said this in other videos, I mean, regardless of our opinions if they should have a relationship with him or not, Prince Harry has made it clear that he does want a relationship with his dad. And I don't feel like, who would want you not having especially a public figure, obviously, to be estranged from your family, and at the end of the day, those kids, their grandpa is the king. And that's not something that I feel like as a stain on their legacy. So this is interesting. I understand Prince Harry to a certain extent. Obviously, having a relationship with their parent, like I think most people, unless if have done things that just could never be fixed, want a relationship with their family. So I understand that part. So it'll be interesting. I am very interested to see if there's going to be pictures or a public engagement. And then I'm also interested to see if... I read somewhere else that apparently William doesn't want to meet with them. But who knows? I mean... a lot can happen, but I do find it interesting that King Charles is going to pay for their security, and that the kids are going to be staying at one of their royal residences. And it makes me giggle, because I just think of all those comments. I wish I knew those people's @s to tag them, be the ones that were telling me that they were not royals. Because are you staying at one of the castles or the royal residencies? No, we're not.
Everybody loves a royal reunion. There's something magical about seeing the British royal family together. Smiles, laughter, and the sense of tradition that stretches back centuries. The world watches, captivated, whenever the royals gather for a public event. The cameras flash, the crowds cheer, and for a moment, it feels like the fairy tale is real. But behind the scenes, things are rarely as simple as they seem. But what happens when the family invitation comes with a side of heartbreak and headlines? The British tabloids are relentless, churning out stories that capture the public's imagination and sometimes stoke the flames of family drama. Buckingham Palace, with its grand facade, often hides the more somber moments experienced by those inside. Even the most composed royal family member can't always mask the pain that comes with public scrutiny and private heartbreak. King Charles, Harry, and Meghan, can they ever truly reconcile? The question lingers in the air, whispered in palace corridors, and debated in living rooms around the world. Their story is one of love, duty, and the struggle to balance personal happiness with public expectation. Each of them carries their own hopes, regrets, and dreams for the future. But can they find common ground, or are the wounds too deep to heal? King Charles has quietly extended an olive branch, inviting Harry, Meghan, and the kids to stay at a royal residence during their upcoming UK visit. It's a gesture filled with meaning. A father reaching out to his son, hoping to bridge the gap that has grown between them. The invitation, written with care and delivered with dignity, is more than just a formality. It's a sign that, despite everything, family still matters. It sounds hopeful, doesn't it? The idea of the family coming together, setting aside their differences, and finding a way forward. King Charles gazes out the palace window, sunlight streaming in, his expression tinged with optimism. He dreams of laughter echoing through the halls, of grandchildren playing in the gardens, of a family united once more. For a moment, hope flickers in the air. But beneath the palace politeness, tension still simmers. The guards at the palace gate stand watchful, a reminder that not all is well within the royal walls. Harry and Meghan, walking through London with Archie and Lilibet, feel the weight of the world's gaze. At public events, the smiles sometimes falter, and the tension is palpable. Old wounds are slow to heal, and trust is hard to rebuild. Since stepping back from royal duties, Harry and Meghan have lost their official security, leaving Harry worried for his family's safety. The decision to step away from royal life brought freedom, but also new challenges. Without the protection once afforded to them, Harry's concerns for Meghan and their children have only grown. Every trip, every public appearance, is shadowed by the question of safety. The King's gesture is heartfelt, but the power to grant protection lies with the Home Office, not the Crown. King Charles can offer his support, but the final decision rests with government officials. It's a reminder that even the monarch's influence has its limits. The complexities of royal life extend far beyond the palace gates, entangled with politics, protocol, and public opinion. So, will this visit heal old wounds, or just highlight how deep they run? The upcoming reunion is fraught with uncertainty. Will it be a step toward reconciliation, or will it only serve to remind everyone of the distance that remains? The world watches, hoping for a happy ending, but knowing that real life is rarely so simple. One thing's certain, behind the headlines, it's still just a father hoping for his family to be whole again. King Charles, in quiet moments, looks at old family photos and remembers happier times. The love between a parent and child endures, even when tested by circumstance and conflict. In the end, the royal story is a human one, filled with longing, forgiveness, and the hope for a brighter future. And sometimes, even kings have to wait for happy endings. The palace halls can feel lonely, the throne room empty as the sun sets over Windsor Castle. But hope remains, and the story is far from over. To truly understand the depth of this royal rift, we have to look back. The royal family has always been under the microscope, their every move analysed and discussed. Harry and William, once inseparable as children, grew up in the shadow of their parents' tumultuous marriage and the tragic loss of Princess Diana. Family holidays at Balmoral, childhood laughter, and shared secrets once bound them together. But as they grew older, the pressures of royal life began to pull them in different directions. When Meghan Markle entered the royal scene, she brought a breath of fresh air and a whirlwind of attention. Their wedding was a global event, watched by millions, celebrated with joy and hope. But the fairy tale soon collided with reality. Meghan faced intense scrutiny from the press, and the couple's every decision was dissected. The pressure mounted, and the cracks began to show. The decision to step back from royal duties, dubbed Megxit by the media, sent shockwaves through the monarchy. Harry and Meghan's candid interview with Oprah revealed deep-seated pain and a desire for autonomy. The world reacted with a mix of sympathy, criticism, and curiosity. For the royal family, it was a turning point, forcing them to confront issues of tradition, modernity, and the meaning of duty. King Charles, now at the helm of the monarchy, faces the challenge of balancing tradition with change. With Queen Camilla by his side and a team of advisors, he must navigate the complexities of family and duty. The invitation to Harry and Meghan is more than a personal gesture. It's a statement about the future of the royal family. Can the monarchy adapt, or will old divisions persist? Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan have built a new life in California. Their days are filled with the simple joys of family, playing with Archie and Lilibet, enjoying the sunshine, and pursuing their own projects. But the distance from the UK is more than just physical. It's a separation from the traditions and expectations that once defined their lives. Back in the UK, the royal family continues its public duties. Trooping the colour, state banquets, and balcony appearances are reminders of the enduring power of tradition. The crowds wave their flags, and the world watches. But the absence of Harry and Meghan is keenly felt. The family is not quite whole, and the question of reconciliation lingers. Royal biographers and commentators debate the future of the monarchy. Some argue that the institution must modernise to survive, while others believe tradition is its greatest strength. The rift between Harry, Meghan, and the rest of the family is seen as a symbol of these broader tensions. Can the royal family find a way to move forward together? The olive branch extended by King Charles is more than just an invitation. It's a plea for understanding. In his letter, he expresses his hope for healing and unity. The words are carefully chosen, but the emotion is real. For Charles, the role of king is inseparable from the role of father. He wants to lead by example, showing that forgiveness and compassion are possible, even in the most challenging circumstances. For Harry and Meghan, the invitation is both an opportunity and a dilemma. They long for connection, but past hurts are hard to forget. The decision to accept the invitation is not just about logistics, it's about trust, vulnerability, and the hope for a new beginning. As they read Charles's words, they weigh the risks and rewards of returning to the royal fold, even temporarily. Security remains a major concern. Without official protection, Harry must make arrangements to keep his family safe. Discussions with the Home Office are tense and complicated. The issue is not just about safety, it's about principle. Harry believes his family deserves the same protection as other royals, but the rules have changed. The negotiations are ongoing, and the outcome is uncertain. As the visit approaches, preparations begin. Meghan packs suitcases, Archie and Lilibet play nearby, unaware of the significance of the journey ahead. For the children, it's an adventure, a chance to see their grandfather, to explore the gardens of Windsor, to experience a part of their heritage. For Harry and Meghan, it's a step into the unknown. At Windsor Castle, staff prepare for the arrival of their special guests. Guest rooms are readied, menus planned, and flowers arranged in the halls. The atmosphere is one of anticipation and hope. Everyone knows that this visit could be a turning point, a chance to mend fences and create new memories. King Charles, ever the statesman, prepares for the emotional reunion. He practices what he will say, hoping to strike the right balance between warmth and honesty. The nerves are real. After all, this is not just a royal engagement, but a deeply personal moment. He wants to welcome his son and daughter-in-law with open arms, but also to address the issues that have kept them apart. The day of the visit arrives. Harry, Meghan, Archie, and Lilibet are greeted by royal staff at Windsor. The children's laughter echoes through the halls, breaking the tension and bringing a sense of joy. For a moment, it feels like old times. A family reunited, if only for a while. The family gathers for dinner, sharing stories and memories. There are moments of awkwardness, but also genuine connection. Laughter bubbles up, and the walls begin to come down. It's not perfect, but it's a start. The bonds of family, though strained, are not broken. Later, King Charles and Harry take a walk in the garden, talking quietly. Meghan and Camilla share tea, finding common ground in their experiences. The conversations are honest, sometimes difficult, but necessary. Healing takes time, and this visit is just the beginning. The children play together, forging new friendships and reminding everyone of what's truly important. A family photo is taken in the garden, capturing a moment of unity. For King Charles, it's a glimpse of the future he hopes for. A family that, despite its challenges, can come together in love and understanding. As evening falls, the family gathers to watch fireworks light up the sky. There are quiet moments of reflection as each person considers what the future might hold. The path to reconciliation is long, but the first steps have been taken. Later that night, King Charles writes in his journal, recording the events of the day. His expression is thoughtful, but there is a sense of hope. He knows that healing will take time, but he believes it is possible. For now, he is content to have his family under one roof, if only for a short while. Harry and Meghan tuck their children into bed, grateful for the chance to reconnect with family. They share a quiet moment together, reflecting on the challenges they've faced and the possibilities that lie ahead. The journey is far from over, but they are determined to keep moving forward. As the sun rises over Windsor Castle, a new day begins. The future is uncertain, but hope remains. The royal family, like all families, must navigate the complexities of love, forgiveness, and change. The world will continue to watch, but for now, the story is theirs to write. In the end, the story of King Charles, Harry, and Meghan is a reminder that even the most public families are, at their core, human. They laugh, they cry, they hope, and they dream. And sometimes, even kings have to wait for happy endings. But as long as there is love, there is always a chance for healing. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the heart of the royal family. The story continues, and we'll be here to follow every twist and turn. Until next time, remember, behind every headline, there's a human story waiting to be told.